Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to our marathon conversation. As you can see, I am not in my usual running clothes, so I'm actually all suited up. I'm in the office as I wind down for the Christmas and the holiday break. I haven't been running for a few days, part of this mood, and I'm sure a lot of you are breaking down and breaking off and slowing off on your training, which is fine, just so long as we have a commitment to come back to our training program in a few days. But I came to just share a little tidbit I got from the last road race that I attended the previous weekend out in Tetu. So I am at the finish line, and the 5-kilometer race is coming to an end, and the runners are coming through, and they're getting a race number or a finisher's number, which then they take to the desk to process their position and so on. And as I'm watching these guys coming through, and these are all juniors, so these are young, fellows. I think they were all under 15. This little guy comes through, and he's carrying both his shoes. And I'm a little tickled, so I walk up to him and say, "Boss, what's up? What's up with your shoes?" And he said, "Zimetaruka." And you could see he was running with what you call safari boots, and they had sort of broken off at the front, and they were torn, but he had removed them and carried them and finished the race running on bare feet, which was commendable in itself. And then he had a problem at the finish line because they said that he didn't finish the race properly. So apparently they were supposed to come and do a sort of a lap of honor around the perimeter, and then you come in and then line up for the tape between the strings, and then come and finish, and then you get your finisher's number. And this guy, for some reason, I think he had missed the briefing, so he didn't know. And he basically just cut through the perimeter and came to the tape. And technically, he had not finished. And the guys, the officials said, we can't give you a finisher's number because you didn't finish properly. And this guy is not even a winner. He's not even in the top 10. But, to him, he's very frustrated because he wants to have a finisher's number. He wants to be able to account for his race. He wants to be able to say, hey, I did this and this is how I finished. So he's frustrated. And he's going from one official to another and saying, look, I have done the race. I've ran the 5 kilometers. I didn't even know. I think he missed the briefing. He didn't know how to finish properly. And, he wants his finisher's number. And he went through a few of the officials and he was frustrated. And eventually he got to me. This is like 20 minutes of just sort of thinking, what is he going to do about this? So he came to me and said, look, how was I supposed to finish? And how was I supposed to know? I didn't get the briefing. And what can I do? I need to be able to say, this is my finisher's number. And I said, look, don't worry, you can run again next year. You'll get a number next year. I'm trying to say it's not a big deal, but I didn't realize just how much of a big deal the finisher's number was for him. So the little guy, he says to me, can I redo the race? Can I start again, run the 5 kilometers and come and finish properly so that I get my finisher's number? And I was like, wow, this is at another level of determination. And I said, look, okay, if it's that important to you, well, maybe you don't have to run the whole race again because this is, after everybody has finished anyway. Maybe we can talk to the officials and you can sort of retrace your steps and then sort of go down the perimeter the way you are supposed to go and then come around. So we talked to the officials and they said, that's fine. So we actually went back with him and did the perimeter and did the sort of the lap of honor, and then we came in and he got his finisher's number. You should have seen the look on his face. He was completely excited. And I just wanted to share this story because I picked up a few sort of thoughts from this interaction. And, really, I was just blown away by his determination to finish, his determination to be able to account for his day. So I imagine he was going to go home and he was going to tell, his parents or his siblings that, hey, I did this and I came home with this number. It's a number. I think it was number 31. And he was probably the last one in the whole of that race. But it was so important for him to get that number, and he got it. And the other thing is that for me, I was actually completely impressed that he made a mistake, and he cut through the perimeter. He recognized the mistake, he took responsibility for it, and he was willing to correct the wrong, even if it meant running the whole 5 kilometers again. I thought, my goodness, this is a little, class 7, 13, maybe 14-year-old, very, very tiny bodied guy, but he was willing to do all that to finish and to be able to account for his race. And I was like, wow, this is a big lesson. And these are the sort of leadership lessons that we pick from running and training for a marathon, that you build a certain level of discipline, that you really want to finish what you started, and you want to be able to account for it and say, this is my finisher's number, and I'm willing to do a bit more to be able to account for my run. So fortunately for the guy, at the end of this, I actually shared this story at the point when we were doing the presentations, and I shared his story of determination, and I called him up from the crowd and recognized him, and the organizers were just completely blown away. And they were like, this guy has brought a whole different meaning to the road race. Besides the winners, he's actually being able to demonstrate something else in terms of integrity, in terms of determination, in terms of grit. The ability to just continue going and willing to do the extra miles just so that he can account for his run. And they were so excited that somebody promised to buy him a new pair of shoes, because remember, his shoes were tarot-card at the front. He got a t-shirt that all the organizers were getting, so he basically branded like everybody else. And then somebody actually offered to buy him a tracksuit for his training and so on. Now, this is a little guy, 13 years old, completely blowing everybody's mind with his discipline and his integrity and his determination. And I'm just hoping that I can, that this story will encourage all of us as we go into this break and as we plan to come back in the new year, that we learn a few lessons from this young guy called Daniel. So all the best. Happy holidays. Enjoy your Christmas break. If you keep running, great. If you take a small break for these few days, this 1 or 2 weeks, fine. But let's come back all determined like Daniel to continue with our training for Marathon 101. All the best. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.